poppin' in. Gon' pop it for me cause I'm rich and poppin' in. Yeah. Drip. Little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big. Get out my way, little bit. She gon' put it on me, that's a lot of it. 4 coops, 4 seasons, drop the top a bit. Bust down, but my wrist, time to talk a lot of. I got both my girls head to toe designer. Drip. Little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit.
Tonight, from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, it's time for Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We'll see Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals taking on Nick Foles and the Chicago Bears.
It is a brisk night in the Midwest as we bring you football from Paul Brown Stadium in the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gordon. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, it's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
A first carry here for Joe Mixon. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. He was north of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Now Burrow to throw on second down. The throw taken in by Sims. And, right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. The pass receiver turned into a runner, then he turned into a fumbler, and it goes the other way for 6.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yards.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good.
Cairo Santos set to kick off.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 20.
Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. We see Nick Foles coming out, the MVP of Super Bowl 52, as he will be the one to lead this Bears offense.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Foles. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Touchdown.
Allen Robinson with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this carries into the end zone, and he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field, and they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Mixon hit, and the ball is out. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
Joe Mixon, the ball carrier.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Letting one go deep for the end zone, and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. First carry now for David Montgomery. Brushing off defenders. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Montgomery, 29 yards as the Bears push further out in front.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now, you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
And it is now 21-0.
It is good.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
Cairo Santos set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
We focus our attention on the Bears defense now. And for their efforts so far, they deserve a little defensive montage here.
I like that. I like how you recognize what they're doing out there and how much fun they're having, because that's indeed what's going on. Beating them to the punch just about every snap now. Swarming, swooping, taking the ball away. This is a lot of fun to watch.
Opportunistic, right?
Very much so.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
The ball carrier. Fumble on the play.
You know I love football. You know I love the game.
I hope so.
But nighttime in December, you know I'm wearing multiple coats. So I just wonder about the guys on the field with all the great gear that they have. Do they have enough on, or do they have too much on? Because sometimes that can affect you trying to carry the ball.
The Chicago offense set to get started. Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I want to get right back out there and get after them, because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say I'd just be aggressive and go after him.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some...
And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears.
Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, they're stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
Cairo Santos set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Bengals set to take over. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. But you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
39-yard line.
On second down, Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
I don't think there could have been a better pocket for him to throw from, yet he never got rid of the football, and it goes down as a sack.
I mean, he had time to build a campfire back there. They still couldn't get rid of it.
I'll bring the s'mores next time.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he loses the football a second time. But I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
Fumble on the play.
And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, Even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from him. If you got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
This is caught inside the 15. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line.
Defense. What's the deal, y'all?
So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead.
Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play, so you might as well not even have the penalty.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. David Montgomery with his second touchdown in this opening quarter as his guys continue to pour it on. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Santos with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half.
Cairo Santos set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big, this early. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Bilal Nichols in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they bring this one back. A fumble return for a Bears touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6.
Cairo Santos set to kick off.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This taken in about 4 yards deep, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wild card spots with 2 weeks to go, but you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And, Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So, in theory, more teams alive for a postseason berth later in the year.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it.
And oh, he coughed it up. And this is picked up by the Bears. And now off to the races down the right side. So they hit pay dirt but don't count it yet. There's laundry on the field. We'll see what the penalty flag is about.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a little extra on top of the big play there.
It's tough for guys rushing the passer, but you have to know when the ball is gone. And if you listen, officials will tell you ball's gone. He didn't pull up.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I started to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 44 yards.
How about the first half he's putting together? Well over 100 yards already with that last catch. And to me, they'd be well served to keep looking his way. A number of big plays already in this one.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Toss left to Montgomery. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
That is caught at the 7. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws that quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the happen.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Darnell Mooney, his first touchdown on the year. And this offense is running away with this one.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago.
Cairo Santos set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Cincinnati set to take over once again. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and
on 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Open man here, Sims, complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, Mixon. And he's got a first down following a pickup of about 13, as we will take a pause here for the 2-minute warning. A reminder, coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Burrow going to get this into the hands of Mixon, his running back. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
2nd and 6.
Burrow looking to pass. He's got his big tight end, Gronkowski. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And incomplete.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. 2nd and 10 now, Burrow. Leaping, and he makes the grab. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
This is 1st and goal, and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime.
58, not today, you are. Not today. 58, right over there.
To the air again, Burrow. And that'll be caught. Touchdown, Bengals. It's Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd with touchdown number 8 on the year. And it's for pride now, but the Bengals get a bit closer. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play you would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Foles gonna let one fly for Robinson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
The toss play to Montgomery. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Defenses always have a goal of holding a runner under 100 yards. Well, he went over 150 last week, won NFC Player of the Week award honors. And guess what? He's got a chance to do it again because of that vision he has. He sees holes that maybe don't exist.
And that will be incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, where it was the visiting Jaguars who were able to come away with the road victory. 38-14, the final score. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And things didn't work out so well as they fall to the visiting New England Patriots. 28-7, your final score. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Tampa Bay Bucks. 28-10, the final. In the game you're watching, it's the former Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles with the strong first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Bears take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard.
So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop them here on 3rd down. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. Now a hit and a loose football.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by the kicking team.
You know, it's great to be a Pro Bowl quarterback, all-pro wide receiver. Those guys get all the endorsements. But we've seen a lot of guys carve out a great career as a special teams ace.
And it's one of the most important parts of the game. We can talk offense and defense all we want, but the third phase, special teams, that can be the difference between winning and losing. And how about the big play created here? Big-time effort, and that can help his team.
Second straight week, he's forced to fumble. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And he finds his tight end, Graham. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now, bottom line, tremendous starting field position really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Takes this about 5 yards deep and not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
On 3rd and 1, Burrow. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Santos now to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Cairo Santos set to kick off.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now. Really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half. Okay, because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up!
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. On 2nd down, here's Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 11 yards there, 1st down.
For a Cincinnati Bengals. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Here's Burrow. It's complete. He's got Gronk. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
1 at their 49-yard line.
On 2nd down now, Mixon. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. 2nd straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now Burrow loses the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
Nick Cole sacked. Fumble on the play. Recovered by Chicago.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Montgomery. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Logan Wilson that time there to bring him down. Second down and 5. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Bengals 7.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Now Foles. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Escapes the defender, and he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Throw left side complete. It's Graham. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On second down, Montgomery. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Back to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Bears add on. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them. Because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ballgame.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off.
Cairo Santos set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now Burrow to throw on second down. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
58, come on. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball right over. 58, right over there.
From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
They'll go to Montgomery to try to wind some clock. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
The Bears on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
57's the mic. 57's the mic. I got you. I got you, son. I got you.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. They'll run on first down. It's Montgomery. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, tight down. There you go. 57. Mike, 57.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal. They'll run with Montgomery. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. The quick slant caught. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
Final score,
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for